Oh yeah, this is good.
It's just blueberry.
The first hit of it was more tart. It's gotten a little better. I think my mouth's adjusted, but it's good though. I'm gonna have to try some other stuff because I mean, if they say blueberry muffin and it's a blueberry muffin, I don't know why the hell there's a bear on there though.
Because bears love muffins.
They like blueberries.
And why is he foaming at the mouth?
Because
He's drooling over the muffins that he's apparently juggling. Bears can't juggle.
now this is a dark chocolate.
That one can. That one's raised in the circus, born and raised.
It's gonna be.
And he escaped and stole some muffins out of a picnic basket.
Yes.
Is he smarter than the average bear? Because
Well,
he doesn't look smarter.
Well, he killed the campers before he took their muffins.
Yeah, so that's pretty smart.
yeah.
I like the idea of like he's smarter than an average bear. He's still fucking stupid,
Yeah.
but he's above average.
Yes, no witnesses. That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Just what killed these animals or what killed these campers? It was the mountain lion. Here's some fur.
Unfortunately, he was juggling the muffins at the time that he was testifying, but
He was juggling them while he was talking to the ranger.
yes.
Just I don't know, Ranger Smith.
I just like the idea of a bear trying to move around the crime scene. He's like, and he grabs one guy and he like has him like biting down the arm of another guy. He's like, okay, that looks believable. Takes off.
Yeah, they were cannibals. That's what happened.
They ate each other.
Yeah.
His incisors are 48 centimeters wide.
Well, was it
My God.
Fire Ranger Dan?
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, like he would definitely be a cannibal.
I
Actually,
think
really,
it was a joke that he was one.
I wouldn't be surprised. Any joke about a loner out in the woods
Yep.
that's been there too long and cracks, he was.
Yes, that is true.
A random hiker is like, I haven't seen anybody come down this trail in 3 months. Well, I hope I'm not the last. Me
What?
neither. I'm very hungry. What?
I haven't seen anybody in 3 months. What year is it again? 1997?
That's more than months.
I'm so lonely. My days I count by moon cycles.
What kind of 1970s food would last for 40 years?
Twinkies.
Tang.
Twink.
Tang.
Astronaut ice cream.
You mean the stuff they sold in the Science Museum?
Yes.
And our,
God, that stuff was awful.
how
Really?
long did
Anything
our,
Astronaut
can.
ice cream?
Yes, it was bad.
Anything in a can.
Hey,
would probably
if
last.
you're up in the International Space Station and that's the only type of ice
They
cream,
eat real ice cream up in the space station. They have it.
I know, but
Well, what do they have?
No.
Real ice cream, or do they have powder that they can turn into ice cream?
No, they have little tubes of it like yogurt.
It's not.
That's,
Yeah, but
that's
how
frozen
do you-
yogurt.
What do you mean
Kyle.
it's not ice cream?
That's frozen
you
yogurt.
know how expensive that frozen yogurt was?
They had to go to the-
soft serve is
that too.
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
That tube probably cost $1,000.
They had to go to the freaking Froyo bar in the ISS.
You know what my favorite expenditure or personal item on the ISS ever was? One of the American astronauts managed to get a gorilla suit up there.
Yeah. It was cleared by NASA.
Yeah, without any of the other astronauts knowing.
Which is amazing.
So just one day, there's a gorilla!
He's just running through the capsule
Yeah.
with a girl.
And then they have video recordings of just a gorilla chasing people in zero gravity around the International Space Station.
We're going through the ventilation system. It's like Alien, except it's a gorilla.
You get really into character, just starts ripping out wires, banging on the glass.
It's funny, huh, guys? We're gonna die.
Somebody then he's like, you know what I also had as a personal item? A gun.
Oh my God. The ISS is in retrograde.
They can correct it.
Not if you rip the thrusters
Oh,
off.
that.
The thrusters off.
The monkey's out, not even with a spacesuit, but he's still running around.
No, he had a full suit.
Could they get a monkey suit that went over the spacesuit?
Oh, of course they could.
It would be a really big
Those
monkey.
things exist. It'd be,
a
well,
very
it'd be a
big
gorilla.
It'd be a big
Yeah.
monkey.
It would be an actually large-sized gorilla.
Yeah, it'd be like the Overwatch monkey,
Yeah.
like Winston.
Yes.
They took over the moon.
Space monkey.
Yeah, he's the
Space
first
monkey.
space monkey.
If we fire enough monkeys into the moon, will they colonize it?
We're nearly out of monkeys. Get more monkeys.
It's a big pile of monkeys. And and they're starting to like decay, and they let off oxygen, and then the other monkeys underneath are using it as a barrier.
They just have a bold shelter built out of monkey corpses.
Totally.
They would freeze solid, then they impact the moon, make little monkey craters in it.
You know, in
No.
you know in Catan where you build an entire city using nothing but sheep.
Yes.
That's what this is.
Just build a moon base using nothing but monkeys.
Yes, it's completely monkey.
Oh my god!
Somebody needs to write this down.
Elon Musk could do it.
I just like the thought of firing monkeys.
Out of a can.
into the moon. Like what?
Gotta get the math right.
What madman is doing this?
They're brilliant.
My God, it's PETA's worst nightmare.
It's a stupid idea, Kyle, until it works.
they never thought of it. They literally could never tripped it up.
They were trying to free the monkeys. It was PETA that did it.
Yes.
You'll be free now.
Earth is too hostile an environment for you, so you need to go where you can be free without humans.
What actually would be the saddest is that they just launch them from cannons on the ground.
Yes.
And they would just shoot it like the monkey's
worse.
gone, but it's just missed.
There's just this one guy's house. They just keep hitting out in the middle of nowhere. He's like, where are all these? Just crying, tears coming out his eyes as monkeys fall from the sky.
Slight miscalculation.
Oh my God.
Those monkeys are in a better place now.
No. The guy just falls to his knees. Oh, what a world! Oh, what a world! I'm melting.
All right, I'm gonna backtrack the start to the monkey conversation because that was really long. That is pre-show. That is us talking about it, and Kyle literally dying.
Flying monkey.
The highlight of his week, talking about monkeys being shot to the moon.
Firing them into the moon.
Anyway, so they keep covering a podcast, SQSA show. This is episode 31.
Yes.
It's our show about stupid stuff, I guess. So starting from your left, we got
John.
And Kyle.
Andrew.
Cletus, the cactus deneedler. Yeah.
Wait, did you just think that one up or did you?
Is
No, it's cactuses.
he is.
Yeah.
that because cactuses need hugs?
Okay.
No, they don't need hugs. Cactuses are dangerous. Sir, there are thousands upon millions of cactuses out there that are just waiting for somebody to brush up against them and, like, poke them.
Well, isn't it more humane to do like cats and just put caps in all the needles?
Yeah, like little rubber stoppers at the end.
Yeah, you could, but that costs money.
I'm gonna ask, do you deneedle them with
For
your
all
palm?
those caps. No,
But
You
it's more
deneedle with your
humane.
palm.
you use a oven mitten
Oven mitten,
in one hand and a hedgehog in the other.
and you got to ride a backhoe.
Yeah, a hedgehog specifically, because then you can use its needles to kind of stab the cactus's needles.
What if you only have a porcupine?
Well, that's for bigger cactuses.
Yeah,
I mainly specialize in the small ones. So like
No,
the
you-
the
indoor.
big ones will take revenge if you go after their kind.
So if they're taller than you,
yeah,
you don't mess
You
with
don't
them.
mess with the cactus that's bigger than you. You learn your lesson real quick on that one.
So there's a market to capture then, what you're saying.
Market?
Yeah.
And who's pay-
There's some money in this. Who's paying? Pays for this?
Oh,
This is a public service. Sir.
So I apologize. I didn't realize that you were literally just
he's a
on your own
vigilante.
taking hedgehogs out to the middle of Arizona.
Yes.
This
Needles
sounds
and
like
cactuses.
it's a free acupuncture. You're just rolling around a cactus, like screaming out loud, but like, it's my job. Ah!
So that it can't hurt anyone else.
Like, who pays you? You just literally do it as a service.
It's a public service.
It's a public
it's like-
service.
it's like
then
cleaning
how
up-
do you survive?
It's not government.
Oh,
subsidies.
sometimes you have to eat the cactuses.
Oh, well, I mean, there is water
The
and
needles?
Well, yeah.
well,
You eat the
Wait.
needles.
Eat the needles. You cook them up.
what?
It's plant.
so is grass.
Yeah.
You don't eat
There's no grass in the desert.
Is it?
Like,
You know what, Johnny's correct. There is no grass
What am I
in the
gonna eat?
desert.
What am I
You're-
gonna eat?
You're wrong.
I feel like
switchgrass or sawgrass.
Nope.
bluegrass.
No, that's Kentucky.
Yeah.
Kentucky is not.
Yeah, we don't talk about Kentucky.
That only grows because of horse poop.
Yeah.
It's true, actually.
Is bluegrass actually blue,
Yeah.
It is not.
Well, it is.
or is it bluish?
It's
No,
bluish.
It's more blue.
It's more blue than green, but there isn't very much of it left in Kentucky. I've seen it in places, but
Are they running out of horse poop?
essentially.
But no, there's got to be plenty of horse.
Well,
poop.
there's not. No, there's not.
That's
horses
why Michael
everywhere like
left.
used
There
to
weren't
be.
enough horses in Kentucky anymore.
Yes, he's like, there's not enough poop here. I need to leave.
Yeah, not enough poop.
But anyways, so our normal thing is to talk about some stupid topics. So John, what was your question?
What fictional thing, so something that does not currently exist, are you the most glad does not exist?
What fictional thing are you most glad does not exist?
I know.
There's a list.
Like
Yeah,
the
there's
Amazing
a
Laser, the
number
Death
of
Star.
No, the Death Star is cool.
No, Death Star's
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
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 Okay, you want one of those.
That's
like-
that's like Death Star and then creating a Dyson sphere.
Well, I mean, you know what mine is.
What is yours?
It's obvious. Paw
Gallus?
Patrol.
Paw
Paw
Patrol.
Patrol.
But it
Patrol.
does exist.
No, it can't. This is-
Not in
animals-
the real world.
Animals will destroy our society.
Wait, what was the
They're
question?
nonsense.
What fictional thing are you the most glad does not exist?
Oh, does not. Okay, no. Okay, yes, the
Yeah,
Paw Patrol.
The Paw Patrol. They're
So like
a menace.
actual dogs dressed up as firefighters and police officers.
replacing
Well,
all of our public services.
Maybe not, but
ill-equipped dogs.
a doggy dressed up as a whale firefighter.
Yeah, well, he's
Yes,
gonna
but if
die
that's
in
the
fire.
only firefighter in your town,
Yeah. But at least I'd be like, oh, I'm
yeah.
financially in ruin, but he's adorable.
He's a small truck.
He's putting
I
it out
mean-
with his drool.
Yeah, you can give him like pets while your family burns.
Yeah, he's there for emotional support during your hard time. That's all
And
they
it
do.
works. That's why we fund them every single year.
They defund everything, and all of them are just social workers.
Yep.
Right.
Oh no.
we have the Paw Patrol.
If I had to go with a real answer, head crabs.
Mine's very similar.
Because
Yeah,
like
they're
I would
terrifying.
either that or there are some terrifying like Doctor Who, like the angels.
Yep.
I mean, they don't actually
Well, at
kill
least-
you, but they do some effing weird things, and they're just creepy. But yeah, I'd say head crabs because it's one thing. It's like that's a terrifying thing, but you like the Death Star, but you're dead. Boom, you're gone. Who cares? But the other one is you have to be alive through all of it.
Yeah.
And that's where it'd be terrifying.
Single most terrifying form of zombies, head crab zombie.
Yeah. I think mine would actually be hive cities from Warhammer 40k.
Wait, you don't want it's a word that I'm thinking of. Keep going.
Well, I was gonna say like the thought of having something so big and so complicated and so old and so like deep that you could literally just worm your way down into it and then just never be seen again. But like all of it has a purpose and all of it has to be manned by people, basically like a flesh machine
Wait, what is this?
of Hive City.
Argopolis
Yeah.
or
Is that kind of what
Argopolis, yeah.
Darktide is?
Darktide
Yes.
is set inside of a hive city, yes.
Okay.
But the thing is that like a hive city is a place where people live, so
Yeah, a
they
few
so they can
billion
literally
people in-
a few like billion goes like miles into the ground, and the part that you see above the top of the surface, the crust, is like
just the top
tiny
300
little
stories or so.
yeah, like the top 300 stories to a gigantic tree that just grows. Into
Why
the
don't you
earth.
want that exist?
Kind of
Why
like
don't I want it to exist?
Yeah.
It sounds like a hellscape.
well,
if
It
you
sounds
live in
nice.
it.
well,
It sounds nice.
It sounds nice. It's a nice below ground apartment.
If you just had one of them in like Hungary.
Yeah.
I lived in an underground house for like 13 years.
Yes, but were you 200 stories underground?
No, but I wish
Can never
that way it wouldn't have to come out.
Could never see daylight ever again. You'd never even known daylight.
An entire city of basement babies.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But then also they kill people and they eat each other.
Well, what? Wait, you didn't say that.
There's not enough food for everybody.
Why not?
You're in a hive city,
How
motherfucker.
did
That's
the
a
city get
poorly
that big?
run hive city.
How did a city
Not-
get that big with
a lot
not
of
enough
cities-
Soylent
food?
Green.
Kyle, the Emperor
doesn't seem sustainable.
protects.
That also turns every bit of waste matter into the recombinant cubes that you eat every single day.
No,
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
that's just waste management.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
good recycling.
That's good recycle.
That seems efficient.
That concept is in a bunch of things. Like Breath of Fire 5 was a game I really liked, was where you start at the underground after an apocalypse where everybody went underground and you spend the entire game just trying to get to the surface. Or Arcane was kind of that way.
Yeah, I think
And
I think
Fallout.
that isn't not necessarily the like bad bottom, but it's like the scale. It's not. It's not 200 people. It's not 1 million people, and which is already something that you can't even like physically imagine. It's like billions of people
But I don't
within
get-
a little.
I mean, it's not
tight
Paw Patrol bad.
But that doesn't get
It's
why.
not Paw Patrol bad.
So in 40K, is travel have anything with relativity, or is it like
they go
warp?
through.
No,
yeah.
they go through the warp.
Okay, and why don't they just expand?
Well, they do. There's just literally that many people.
Or are they so expanded that even then they're already
Well, this is going to get into a 40K live stream instead, but in the short version, 40K version, humanity has already expanded, then contracted, and now again inside the 40K or the 40,000th year of the Imperium of Man, it has already expanded and is now very much into its decline. Like it's basically on life support.
Oh, okay. So it's going to go down to a sustainable number again.
It's currently in a civil war.
Sustainable.
So what it maybe that's a lot of topic. But what does the 40K mean in 40K? Is the year 40K?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Okay.
40,000th millennium.
Oh, so we're talking not just 40,000 years. We're talking 40,000 or 40
No.
million years.
No, this is 40,000 years. At 30K, that's when the Emperor. That's
Yeah.
when the current system of government was instilled. The current system of government has existed for 10,000 years.
Are we
Yes.
saying year 0 is ours year 0?
No.
Oh, okay. So this is just
It's pretty much.
Well,
I'm thinking it's
year
probably.
zero is so far back that there is no lore for
Yeah.
that. That's just
okay.
Well, where
They haven't
does
decided
like
what it
the
is yet.
standard Warhammer? What year does that take place?
Oh, I don't think
It's
in the
two different
universe.
things.
Is it?
They're
I thought that was like.
it's like the same universe but two different time periods.
Yes, that's what I thought it was.
Well, no, not
No.
not the same universe. It's like Warhammer and Warhammer 40K are the same thing, which is different themes.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's
that's
not
what it
like
is.
the past.
No.
Oh,
Past implies that they're the same universe. They're the same thing where one is like ye olde times where the other one is futuristic.
Yeah.
It's just them trying to market to both sides.
Yep.
I thought there was some connecting.
Oh no,
People like to
there
say there is, but there's
there is
40
connecting elements because the lore between both are very similar in like some of the gods and
they're
stuff.
also creatively bankrupt.
Also,
Yeah.
40K is so big that you could just say, yeah, the just Warhammer, that happened on that planet over there.
Yeah, somewhere in the Milky Way galaxy is
Yeah.
that planet.
But I
Well-
figured Warhammer was just where humans and like dwarves and stuff got their start.
No.
before they went
No.
into space.
No,
Nope.
it was just them saying, "Wow, we kind of ran out of stuff in that universe. Let's go to the future."
Well, it was
yeah.
more like Games Workshop was like, we filled up one whole planet. We're getting really kind of bored with it.
But with-
let's make every planet.
Infinite planets.
Yeah.
But it really depends. Like to me, Warhammer 40K is about having a universe that literally all of the micro is useless. It's all about the macro.
Well, that's why 40K is kind of like terrifying because even on Earth, like you are a tiny speck of flesh in the cog that is life.
Yeah.
In the Imperium, you are you're literally that times like another however many specks you
Your
are.
planet could be erased from existence, and it really wouldn't matter that much.
Oh yeah, it would matter so little that somebody probably wouldn't even notice.
Would Earth matter?
No.
No.
Well,
Terra,
Terra
Prime
is
Terra, where the Emperor currently resides on his golden throne,
Yes.
that would matter only because the Emperor is currently sitting
Yes.
there.
Is Prime Terra Earth or is that a different?
it is not.
It is not. I know very little about 40K.
Well, anyway,
We
Yeah, let's
keep
not-
going on
Yes.
forever.
Yeah,
So we
we
need to
could.
slow down.
Kyle doesn't want the universe to be big because it's scary.
It is
Yeah.
fucking scary. I
so
don't
you
like it.
wait, but there's something that isn't real, but you don't want it to be real.
He doesn't want a city with 1 billion people that exists in miles above and below the surface of the earth to
Okay,
exist.
so
Just stay out of Tokyo.
California.
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say Tokyo or Shanghai or
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
Well, give it a couple years anyway.
Yep.
But John, what was your answer to that?
The basilisk.
What is
Oh, that's also a good one. Yeah.
Big
Oh,
old, the big old.
are you talking
Not-
like the
not-
thought experiment
The
one?
thought.
Oh,
The idea
don't!
of-
We can't say it because then everybody's screwed.
No,
No, say it.
it's a picture.
Uh huh.
Oh, okay.
It's the idea of here's this picture. If you look at it, your brain will start to shut down. So the internet was immediately taken offline as soon as it was discovered because as soon as anyone posted this, people would only know about it once they started dying.
Oh, so is that is the basilisk?
I'm already interested.
The basilisk a term used for stuff like that? Because I've also heard that used for that one thought experiment about knowing its existence requires that you either helped create it or you will be suffering a horrible life.
It was invented in sci-fi as just a picture. Like the first story about it was a guy who went to prison because he was part of a terrorist group who had started just not looking at things but posting it around and just killed a whole bunch of people. And they just left him in a room with a little bit of evidence and left him in that room until he was dead because he happened to get shit out of the corner of his eye.
That kind of sounds like Bird Box.
I was gonna say it sounds like the funniest joke from.
That's exactly what I was
the
gonna say.
funniest joke, except
Monty
it's
Python.
something where even if you don't see the full thing, your mind will keep going back to it and it will complete the picture and then you'll die.
There's a SCP that actually operates like that, where if you see an image of its face in a picture, any picture at all, it doesn't matter where it is, what it is, it will basically come and then like rip you to pieces.
That to me almost implies the idea that the universe is in simulation. Because like computers can have it where there was an image not long ago that it would, when it popped up on your phone, it would crash your phone. And because the way I can't remember the full thing, but it was certain pixels and the way they were done, it would confuse your phone and or no, it wasn't even that. I think it was a text message. Like you would get it and it would break it and it would crash the whole thing. And it's like that. It's like something that your brain is not wired to handle in that specific order.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the idea that you can get an email that destroys your entire computer because it like self-replicates on your computer.
Well, that's
here's
kind of different, but
here's a string of images that just crashes your brain because your brain gets caught in a loop and just shuts down.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other ones are purposefully malicious. Well, like to me, an image that does that is your brain is wired in such a way that just seeing it just happens to defy its purpose or something. So, no, I guess maybe that's what the basilisk, like the whole term comes up. I've heard that multiple times now for similar things.
For monsters.
Yeah, well, for monsters.
Well, both for
The
monsters.
basilisk was originally, or is the origin of the term, because it's a chicken, or it's a snake egg hatched by a chicken who turns you to stone by looking at you.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of it is. It's by the mere fact of knowing or seeing is enough to kill you. And that's probably where it comes from then. Okay, that's actually neat. I never really thought of where that term came from.
Yeah.
History.
We went super dark with that question. Mine is
Yeah,
not dark.
well, kind of. And we went to a very deep 40K.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, we could talk about 40K. I could talk about 40K.
So what do you got,
hours
Kyle?
and days. Well, I have two, and one is not awful and one is awful.
Oh, we'll give us
You
the awful
decide.
one.
Well, it's actually going to be, if you could patent the falling of a leaf, the feeling of a leaf falling in October, how could you monetize it?
You could patent it?
I think Hallmark already did that.
What is the
I
feeling?
don't think they did. How did they patent the feeling of a leaf falling from a tree?
They definitely patented the feeling of falling of snow.
Well,
Wait,
they
what
own
is-
Christmas.
What is the feeling?
if you were able to patent falling a leaf, it would probably almost guarantee involve the falling of anything.
Well, no, but like something so gentle as a leaf, as an oak leaf falling
I know.
in
When you say the feeling of, do you mean like it falls and it hits you?
No,
know
not,
what I-
not like.
The feeling of
Let's
heart
not go that
spits.
far. Like maybe not. You don't patent. You patent the metaphysical feeling.
No, I know what I'd do.
Fall.
I'd be sending a cease and desist to every tree owner.
Through the tree.
Stop
Through
it.
the tree directly.
I'm waiting for that one. There's another one. I would
Every
hire
single time.
a lawyer outside of every person's house.
You'd be like Homer Simpson in that episode where he's trying to staple leaves back onto the tree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
essentially. I mean, if they were to give you a patent for such, which there is no way that you possibly could, but if they were to do such, then technically you could. You could just start saying that like every time a leaf drops, you got to pay me up like 5 cents.
If you can patent like any old dumb shit on the internet, then you can patent a leaf falling somewhere in Canada.
I feel like I would start planting pines. It's my only option. I couldn't afford
Actually,
that.
yeah, all deciduous trees on the planet would cease
Yes,
to exist.
it would lead to the destruction of all leafed plants on the planet.
Well,
Yeah,
in
you
the
can't-
temperate zones, if there is no fall.
But a leaf could still fall off the tree. You can't afford that.
Yeah, but this is
What if the tree
specifically the
dies?
sensation of a leaf falling off of the tree in October.
Yeah. Well, what if you?
And if it falls off a tree in Brazil, that's very different.
Yeah, but what if it's October in Brazil?
I'd still say that's different. Kyle, it's your question.
Well, if I could patent it,
Is this what the
It
question
would be all leaves
is.
during the month of October.
it would be all leaves all the time.
So, like, for the month of October, they just kind of bubble wrap
Yep.
all of the trees
Yeah.
so that the leaves don't fall.
Exactly. But
November 1st, take it off, leaves fall.
because my legal department that I would have created as I made the patent
Only exists in October.
my entire business would be to literally litigate, literally litigate
Yeah.
every tree owner. Or like I said,
No,
like
the
you said
trees.
before, I will litigate
Just the
every tree.
Lorax.
Yeah, you bring him a letter and be like, "Here's your court summons."
Yep.
Yes.
And if he doesn't show up, you
Just
win.
nail it right to the tree.
Yeah.
And then the tree has to pay restitution.
Yeah.
No, the Lorax has to pay.
I'm gonna hire an
The Lord
arbiter.
has to pay.
Gotta
We
find
gotta find
Danny
them
DeVito.
first. We gotta start cutting down trees and find them.
You hire an arbiter that just is a lumberjack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you take those trees that weren't able to pay their restitution, and then you turn them into furniture.
Okay,
Free money.
For one. That's a civil case. I don't think you can murder on a civil case.
There's
There's
The
no.
punishment is murder.
You're sentenced to death, but it was only for $100 cell phone bill.
They're turned into an Adirondack chair.
or an arm.
Oh wait.
If you
It's not death.
turned if you turned Michael into an Adirondack chair, that would kill him.
It would be a very uncomfortable
Kyle,
Adirondack
that
chair.
kills
I would be a very comfortable chair. Thank you very much.
No,
I
you
like
would
the,
just start out with, but as time went on, you would not last nearly as long as Oak.
If we turned you into the bone chair from the forest, you would not be comfortable.
I like the idea though
I
that
think I'm very
they're
comfortable.
like, I didn't murder him. I just turned his face into an ass table.
Face into an ass table?
It's a chair.
Wouldn't you need his ass?
It is more.
Well, I don't know.
plush.
I don't know what part
Actually,
of a tree.
it probably would make more sense.
You turn
to
his
use the
face
butt.
into a face table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although that begs the question: would you want another butt touching your butt as you sat down?
It depends. How plush is it?
Is it still warm?
No, likely.
Okay, good.
That'd be strange. Like that. I mean, kudos to how fast you work.
Yeah. we have
I feel like we've slowly gone back into like a different form of cannibalism.
No, we're not eating any of this.
I mean, you could.
no.
You don't eat the furniture.
You don't exactly. You don't eat your chair.
Children will chew on furniture.
Yeah, but they won't eat
I
it.
did it as a kid.
This is a Hallmark holiday. God damn it!
It is. Hallmark figured this stuff out a long time ago. The Hallmark store is where I go for all my ass chairs.
Wait, is there? I'm thinking of a cannibalistic like Hallmark store.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you walk in there and you're like, I'm going down the arm aisle, and they got all the streamers. This is harms. Yeah, this is Fallout.
Christmas carolers.
Christmas caller.
Carolers, yeah.
They just left in the. Are they in the freezer?
Yeah.
Wait, are we bringing back the cannibal discussions? Because I've got jokes about mermaids.
We have to avoid these.
We're
Okay,
done.
so Argo, your question.
Yes. What is your question?
Well, that came maybe quick. Okay, so mine was, what IP would you like to see have a kind of that Fallout crossover? It's like, what IP or what universe of an IP would you want to see have a post-apocalyptic, like post-nuclear war mixed with it?
I'm guessing it's not allowed to already exist, and I love it so much.
No,
It does already exist for me too.
Skyrim, but isn't that just Fallout?
No.
Okay, well,
wait,
you're saying
what's-
with the gods
yeah,
and
bombs
whatever.
while everyone
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
Well, I actually like the idea of just, I would want to know the pre-lore. Like, it was old ye times, and then they invented ye old nuclear bomb.
No, it wouldn't be
Ye
bad.
old nuclear bomb.
magic.
It was just Jerry with 48 kegs of ale that were too strong.
I'm just imagining the Fallout on Sesame Street, and they just have like all the creatures of Sesame Street are mutated except for Oscar. He's still just Oscar. 'Cause-
Well, that's
He was in
because
his
hid in the
can.
Yeah.
yeah, he was protected in his bomb shelter that he has underneath that can.
See,
He also has an M16.
all y'all
Hanging out.
coming up with some cute things and
He's got a
whatnot.
bomb shelter.
Mine sounds weird, but as a reason,
Okay.
I would like to see like
House Hunters?
post-apocalyptic Friday the 13th
What?
because
They already.
I want to see Jason walking around to do his thing and realizing that everybody's doing it better than he is.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And then he is literally just like, and then they die in front of him and he's like,
Actually, you're right. If he was to walk into like a Raiders house in like, if Jason was to walk into a Raiders house from Fallout 3, he'd be like,
well, no, he'd be,
I still feel like he'd be
would
an
love
above
it.
average raider.
he would be.
But,
No,
yeah.
he would be. That's the
Yeah,
whole.
but he's not a
immortal.
team player. So he wouldn't want to be
He
a part of
wouldn't.
the team.
No, exactly.
He's never been
But he'd be mad that he's being on
Yeah,
stage.
he'd be mad because everybody else is doing the thing he's doing.
Exactly.
He's not special anymore. He would he'd go find a hut and live there and be
Wait,
depressed.
has he ever like met
No,
up
he
with a
would kill
Texas?
more people. He would.
He would
just kill more
try,
people.
but everybody's doing it better.
No, but have you ever met up with a Texas Chainsaw guy? Like, has he ever met someone using his same skill set?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if he's.
there was Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, wait.
But didn't they eventually team up? And
Eventually.
They
yeah, see,
did.
if
I-
he met up with Leatherface,
Although I don't know.
I think he'd find a friend.
I think.
I want to see Freddy in there because he'd be like, aha, look at this very scary thing. And the Raiders are like, and like, they're all, we did that last week. It would just, it's because it's always what everything is so horrible. And then bringing in these horror people that are only horrible because we see them in a normal world. And then just realizing that they're just upstaged.
Yeah.
I think that would be, it'd be like the real, like, do a reality show. He's like, yeah, so like, I want to go kill a guy, but like, he didn't care. He just wanted to die. That wasn't fun.
He was malnutrition and all kinds.
Yeah, he was running.
I do want to see Jason fight a behemoth now, though.
That'd
Be fun.
No, I want to see Freddy fight a Deathclaw.
I want to see him fight a nuke.
They both got big hands.
I want to see Freddy fight a nuke. He's just like,
I want him to stab the nuke.
I feel like that's just a thing. Like that would just be a thing. Like he'd fight it, he'd win.
Well, now that you
nuclear
bring it
bomb
up,
on Elm Street.
Does a nuke have dreams?
no.
It dreams of explosion.
Now that you bring it up, I'm just wondering about horror movies set in like current day war torn stuff. Like if Freddy versus the Cartel.
I would watch that.
I would watch the
Yeah,
hell out of it.
I would like that.
It's like the Expendables. It's like the Expendables, but it's all of the old 1980s horror film like villains.
Yeah, but they would win.
Jason
But they
versus
would win.
Pablo
They would.
Escobar.
But like all it is just like Freddy walking through the jungle, or Jason walking through the jungle,
Yeah, fighting Sylvester Stallone.
or the alien from Alien walking through the jungle.
And I've still never seen those movies.
That's
Predator.
a shame. The Predator.
I've seen
well, okay,
Predator.
well, we already did that.
Okay. Alien. Yeah, we saw
we
Alien
already
versus
did that.
Predator versus Pablo Escobar.
We already did that. Pablo Escobar won.
What? No, he died off screen in the first Predator movie.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Isn't that what they were doing?
No.
I actually haven't seen the movie that I can think of.
I've seen Predator, but it's been a while.
I thought that's
I've never
what
seen
Jesse
Alien
Ventura's
movies.
whole campaign was about. He killed Pablo Escobar in Predator.
Well, anyways, so I
Deep
think
lore.
I got your two and I think Kyle's. So, John, what would you like to see an IP of in post-apocalypse?
Wait, you got Michael's?
Yeah,
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street.
Oh, well, Nintendo's already done it, which is what I would answer.
Isn't that the Rabbids?
No, that's Breath of the Wild.
Well,
Oh, that's
okay.
Post-Apocalypse?
That's not
No,
not
Nintendo's
enough.
post-apocalypse is here's a lush wilderness filled with killer
No,
robots.
not
Okay,
good
yeah,
enough.
that was,
fair
but
enough.
I'm talking like evil.
One that, yeah, and
like-
you said one that hadn't done it yet. So,
Yes.
yeah, or
so-
one that's not based in.
so
such.
again, I would
have
say
to
House
call
Hunters.
House
Yeah,
Hunters?
I want to see
That would be kind of funny.
like one of the HGTV, just HGTV post-apocalypse edition.
What?
No.
What was it? Cogsworth?
Cogsworth.
Hogsworth, yeah.
He got so bored that he just started renovating homes.
Yeah,
I would watch the hell out of that show.
like Property
Yeah.
Brothers, where one of them is a ghoul, the other's a super mutant.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
They're going around fixing up these homes that everyone's dead for.
But I
Yeah.
want the ghoul to not actually be like like a smart ghoul, like just the other one. He's just
feral
screaming
ghoul.
and he's just trying to attack everything.
Yes. One's a feral ghoul, one's a super mutant, and they fix up houses.
Ironically,
Yes.
the ghoul is the demolitionist and the super mutant is the builder.
I just
That's
wanted to
what
see
you
him
have to
like,
have, yeah.
I hope you like your new kitchen, and then he just jumps in like, blah.
It's an open floor plan because that's the only thing we can do.
They just knock down the house.
Ironically,
Ta-da!
he rips out every 2 by 4,
So we got
even the ones that are load bearing.
we had some issues getting a hold of the contractors because they're dead.
We called the number; it was just a dial tone.
The super mutant is like, we hired contractors, but Jimmy ate them. And this is the feral ghoul like, it was funny.
Oh, I want that now, actually.
The camera,
Jimmy's such a crack up.
the cameraman's just fucking shaking the entire time.
No, it's his Cogsworth.
It's what?
It's Cogsworth.
Oh, Cogsworth.
He's
is-
he's got to have a camera. I mean, has to have a camera.
Yeah.
He's
I
got
mean, he has
well, he
to
has
see.
a, he's
his
a head
eyes
camera,
are
I guess.
cameras.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
got
they
a route to a camera.
are they
recording.
cameras or are they? I thought they were IR.
They have to
seekers.
be cameras.
I thought they were literally called IR seekers in the game.
I don't know.
His
Are we
robot
gonna?
stuff.
Are we going
Yeah,
deep
robot
into
stuff.
another lore?
Yes.
I do
Oh,
like
robot stuff.
Fallout lore.
Yeah, it is pretty fun.
Fall
But
Lore is pretty fun. So is 40K lore.
anyways, before we fold on that hole, Michael,
Pineapple. He wants
I
pineapple.
actually want more pineapple. Did you have it?
it's actually not too bad.
I'm good. Pour a small amount.
For those on audio, we're playing or drinking some Mike's Harder Pineapple Mandarin. It says it's an ale.
It says it's an ale. It doesn't taste like one.
It doesn't taste like it. It's actually not bad.
What's your question, Michael?
Oh yeah. My question is, I was thinking today about superheroes, and the superhero I was thinking about was Aquaman. You know, Aquaman talks to fish.
Pretty shit superhero.
Yeah, he's a superhero.
Who's the extra for that?
Extra.
No,
Jason
there's-
Momoa.
Jason Momoa. He's a beastie man.
He is.
Yeah. Like, is Aquaman a marine parasite?
No.
Because I think he's a parasite.
Why?
Define parasite.
Something that takes over other creatures and then uses them to their own ends and against their like general will.
Don't we do that with like half of the animals on the planet?
Yes, but he actually like invades their brains. He's like a fungus.
Yeah,
that
don't we
goes
do that
inside
in
of
the
him.
No, not a fungus.
He's like a fungus.
A waterborne
Yeah, but
mite.
he immediately leaves.
Like unless he like kills whatever he's using in the process. Or like,
Yes, but if he tells a fish, go over and press that button, that fish is not immediately just taken over and
yeah, he uses
And
like
killed.
psychic.
Is he
things.
suggesting and they're
No,
listening?
he forces them.
I don't
with, like psychic
No.
links. Yeah.
No,
I think it's more that he is like the
If he-
prince of the sea.
He
and
asks them.
No, he doesn't ask
So-
them.
so-
He eats fish.
Michael, so there's a super deep DC lore, and how much time did you spend researching this?
A fair amount.
You did not.
No, he actually gets a psychic link with the fish. It forces them to do his bidding.
What,
I
what
don't-
issue?
life.
What issue?
What issue? I don't know the exact issue.
So I don't think he's forcing them. I think he's just royalty, and he's talking to them in their minds.
Yeah, those
like
fit-
before she died, if the queen told Declan, "Go here and press this button," he would do that, and
Yes.
that doesn't make her a parasite who's taking over his
No,
mind.
but Aquaman does take over the fish's mind because fishes are dumb. They don't listen. They can't hold a
Wow,
conversation.
that's rude for a.
they
Sorry.
recognize
If
royalty.
Ariel swims by, he can take over her mind.
That's never
and then
happened.
force her to like beat yourself.
Is it
How
not?
many times has Aquaman said to a fish, "Oh, go beat yourself to death. I want to watch."
No, he tells him to go beat up other things, or he tells him to like probably tells him to like swim into his mouth so he can eat
Yeah,
them.
he tells
No,
them
those fish
yeah.
have kinks. It's
No.
different.
Again, he's royalty. He says, "Your country needs you. Do this, or the whole ocean will die." And then they do his bidding.
Yes.
Because he's royalty. He's
You
the
have
boss.
a romanticized ideal of Aquaman that is not true.
I feel like you need to talk to the Aquaman like
Deniers.
PR team.
The Aquaman PR team, he eats fish.
I
I've
wanna
seen
see
it.
So do other fish.
the Aquaman
Yeah,
PR.
but they're not going to listen to their ruler if their ruler's like, feed me.
Wait, who are they going to listen to? The Prince of Atlantis or King Shark?
They're going to listen to the guy who takes over their brains and tells them
I want to
The
see
fish
like
stuff.
in Aquaman's world then that like everywhere he goes he'll take over some mind, and when the guy wakes up the lawyers come up afterwards and be like, can you please sign here, and they're like
These fish did not consent.
no, now they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in legal
They signed the
writing.
papers. They
Signed the
released their right to a jury trial.
It literally says on the sheet, I got that weird kink thing.
Took over their fish brains.
Yep.
I don't think that I would ever sign a paper that starts with "I've got that kink thing."
Well,
no.
I'm firmly in the camp that Aquaman is a marine parasite that just like
Why does it have to be marine?
I heartily disagree.
because he can
for
only
legal
control
reasons.
marine animals.
He can
Why-
only control animals that aren't like sentient.
So what is it
no,
about
well,
fish
like
and
he can
marine
take
animals?
over like
A mermaid?
Well,
There
yeah.
are mermaids. and
Mermaids
he
are
can't,
fish.
He can't take them over.
They're also furries, right?
Michael,
Well, it
question:
depends.
since you looked into this, can he take over an octopus,
yes,
a whale,
You can.
Yes.
Yes.
a
So it's not just
lobster?
fish.
yes.
What are in common between all those that only make him allowed?
They're marine life.
How? Okay, no,
They're wet.
They're wet. Yeah.
no, but there has to be something that he does that would only affect them.
That's just what he does.
No,
they're
you,
wet.
you're
They're
telling
wet and they're stupid.
you're telling
Yeah.
me that you know all this lore, so I'm
They're-
demanding
yes.
answers.
I
The
think.
marine powers to basically force
Marine
them.
powers.
Marine
now you're
powers.
getting vague.
No, I think.
Superman flies to the sky by farting real hard.
but it's a,
How else does he do it?
but he's super cool.
Yeah, he is.
So if you had a dog that swam a lot, enough so that it would be like a water spaniel, could Aquaman control that dog?
Yeah, okay. If the dog has spent at least 30 minutes in the water, Aquaman can then like take over.
Wait,
his
30
brain.
minutes in the water?
Now he's a parasite.
Yeah.
If creatures that are not marine life crawl into the ocean and stay there for a long enough time, and he's allowed
Yeah,
to take over them,
but
that is the
Like
definition
if you're in
of
the
a parasite.
bathtub, if you're in the bathtub too long and your hands get pruny,
Oh.
that's when Aquaman can like infect your brain.
That's the sign.
That's
that
the
Aquaman
sign.
Can
Yeah.
get at you.
yeah, that's
pruny
how it happens.
fingers.
Pruny fingers.
Yes,
Holy shit!
Now you
Aquaman
know.
loves pruny fingers.
He does. That's how. He
Wait, that's why cats don't want to get in the water because they hate Aquaman.
They know.
They know
He's a jerk.
They know he's out there waiting.
So like, can he take over a plastic bag if it's in the water?
It's
long enough?
not sentient.
Well, sometimes he
If
tries.
you can take over a jellyfish,
Sometimes, yeah. See, he thinks it's a jellyfish, so he tries taking over.
So
the
do
plastic,
turtles.
and he gets very pissed off at those plastic bags because they don't listen.
And that's why he sinks those boats
rude.
all the time.
Rude.
because he wants more plastic bags.
Yeah, that would create more plastic bags.
What if they had a robot that was underwater for long enough? Could he like influence the robot?
Like if it was built to be a marine
He
robot.
took programming 101.
Yeah.
So
I
he's all good.
I don't think so. I think programming might limit the ability for him to control.
He doesn't look that smart.
No, he's an old school
He's
superhuman.
He's Zoomer Aquaman. He has a USB cable.
Jason Momoa's not a.
Snakes.
Why aren't my iPods working underwater? You're in the ocean.
They are
matter.
AirPods. They need to be in the air.
They're only IP65 safe.
Oh my god.
Oh, some people believe that means waterproof,
Only modern.
No, there's certain levels that could be, but
but not
How
IP65.
deep does he go?
there's nothing.
You can go pretty fucking deep.
There is nothing
The electronics are
waterproof.
Submarines better be.
Well, no, because
No,
if
they're
they go too
waterproof.
deep.
No,
they're
they're-
waterproof.
They have.
no,
they
they're water.
better be.
Okay, so how far down could you go before they're not?
Jules Verne says at least 10,000 leagues.
A Mariana Trench.
No,
Well,
every
we can't argue with you.
it's saying that nothing is waterproof because if you go deep enough, it's gonna find its way in.
Yeah.
Because nothing's pressure proof.
What about
because
the fish down
all
there?
water
Are
ratings,
fish not waterproof?
all water ratings aren't about water getting in. It's usually about depth, which is about pressure. So you can say something is waterproof, but it really is about whether or not it is able to have the water forced in at some depth.
Yeah.
So waterproof is all about depth, not water.
Aquaman's waterproof.
He is not.
No. How does he travel around the water?
He farts really
Yeah, in the DC universe, everybody travels by like posterior gas.
I mean, you explain to me how else Superman
There's a
gets
lot
to
of
the
bubbles
sky.
in the animation. I saw him.
Because he disconnects himself from the gravitational field.
Yeah, by farting real hard.
He breaks, cracks the space-time continuum.
That's how he goes faster. He just lets him rip. He's just like the little fart gets him off the ground, and then a big one just shoots him at the speed of light.
Wait, what?
That's just how that works.
The speed of light.
Farting at the
He's
speed of
Superman.
light.
It would destroy the planet.
Probably. That's why he doesn't do it much.
Like, I am the savior of this planet as it blows up.
Wait a minute.
There's a methane
I'm not
field
up
that
on
just
I'm
follows
not,
him.
I'm not up on Spider-Man lore. I'm not up on Superman lore. Does he just fly between planets in space?
He can.
I would.
He can?
Okay,
I'm pretty sure he has. He can survive in space.
Well, I know he can survive in space, but I didn't.
Okay, that I never got. Because, well, how can he survive in space if he needs oxygen, which apparently he breathes
He
on
doesn't
the planet?
need it.
No,
He doesn't need it?
He doesn't
Does
need
he
to
eat?
He doesn't need to eat. He eats, but he doesn't need to.
He just needs the rays of the yellow sun.
He likes
See,
the taste,
that's why
he
I've
likes
always
the
handled
taste
it
of
that
food.
way.
That's like the only reason he eats.
His name is not Clark Kent, it's Mary fucking Sue.
Yes, he's
he
Superman.
gets a new
Yes,
power
but-
every episode.
But was it Henry Cavill that does the acting
Yep.
for him?
Yep.
I love that man.
He's doing the new old version of Superman.
Kind of.
Yes.
But he quit. He's no longer doing Witcher.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I saw the picture for the new guy. At least in terms of looks, pretty good.
he's
It's hard to change
fine.
that,
I'm worried that they're going to
you lose
fuck with things because it's Netflix.
maybe I'm concerned about losing the passion that Cavill had for that character.
He was the only thing keeping the show relevant to the audience.
Some of the other actors did good, but I love. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Superman movies, but only because of the writing and a lot of the other stuff. As an actor, I love him. He's great. Everything he does is great. Like as Witcher, as Superman, as a person.
He's just invested.
Like as a person, because he came out recently. He's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to upgrade my computer to a 4090. Like the fact he even knew what a 4090 was. Like he's a super nerd.
Big fucking
Yeah,
nerd.
He
a
went on a
nerd.
whole spiel, I think, about 40K miniatures.
Yep.
Like he's super cool. But yeah, him being on, I'm kind of sad about Witcher.
Yeah, but he also, I think he kind of got to the point where he had 3 seasons. The
He
show
has
is
endorsed the new guy, so he did say that.
It's true,
Well,
but I think also has to do with the show is kind of like in its tail end. Like it's already had 3 seasons. There's a lot of show. I mean, how many seasons do you actually need? You're not going to finish all the books.
Well, if you finish all the games, at least.
You
They
do
haven't
like,
done any of the games.
You do like
Oh,
any
now
other
he's
thing.
going to do Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh my god,
I am curious. I hope he sticks.
that
in
anime was great.
I hope he sticks in fantasy, or not. Maybe not fantasy, but like the over the top, like superhero stuff. Because I don't know, he's just great. But anyway,
Who's
sorry.
got to look for it?
Yeah, who the hell was it that did Thor?
That was Chris.
Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth did a couple of like modern military like special ops movies that were really, really well done.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
there
like,
was one called Extraction that I was actually blown away by.
I like him as an actor, but I love his delivering on comedy.
He's really good in comedy, and I guess correct me if I'm incorrect, if I'm wrong about this one, but he did. I think it was called Extraction, where he was saving a small child who was like a government official's child, who the government official wanted dead because he was a something or other, and he had to get them. He had to get out of the city, and it was kind of like overly bombastic and everything. But the camera work was phenomenal. Like it was amazing.
Was the small child a little girl or?
It was a little boy.
Okay, because I know he's been trying to get his daughter into like stuff.
Actually, I didn't know about that.
She's Love and Thunder.
Oh,
that's
that's
his
cute.
I am curious. I mean, that was an okay movie, but
I saw the movie. It was fine.
it was fine.
It was not great.
It's like most Marvels now, where the original Marvels were like, this is a spectacle. Now it's, hey, it had a couple fun moments throughout, but anyway, John, you're looking for alcohol.
I'm
Which one do you
looking
want?
for the
There's a
can with
lot.
the juggling on it.
You want the
Oh, he
bear.
wants the bear.
The blueberry muffin. So, okay. So we can switch over to some audience questions.
But trivia.
Oh, John had a trivia. You
yes,
have some
trivia.
context to this.
Yeah.
One of these.
I actually did trivia on Monday, and I lost everything due to a tiebreaker.
Oh no.
Wait,
Rough.
I lost everything because we were even.
Yes, because we didn't
That's how it
tie,
works.
or because we tied, and then I didn't know how old Garth Brooks was. So
That's how the Powerball works.
Do you win more than you lose?
not recently, no.
Oh,
Sadly,
that's rough. And there's the fact
getting
that
older.
there's like people out there who can beat you at trivia scares me.
Well, there are teams, Michael.
Yes.
Yes.
But you're on one of those teams.
But John, so what do you have?
Well, the tiebreaker I lost to, which is I'm just gonna throw away. How old is Garth Brooks?
How old is Garth Brooks?
Yeah, that's the tiebreaker I lost to.
Do we have to get it within a couple of years or just a
64.
year?
56.
I guessed 53. 60 exactly.
Oh,
60 exactly.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would have
not-
said like 60s.
I'm not that much closer than you were, really.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
No, I
Slightly close.
it's there's that. So my thought with a lot of those
Brooks,
questions
though.
like that, though, is when you get those questions that are when you read something and you're like, I bet you wouldn't know. Anytime they ask a question, your first answer is always wrong, and so it's like,
Yeah.
how old is this person? Because you're probably thinking, oh, well, I'm thinking probably like late 40s, but then that can't be right. They wouldn't ask me that otherwise. So I'm like, he's probably up there.
I don't think he really got big until his like late 30s. So he's kind of a late
No,
star.
that is true.
But the other tiebreaker,
That's
which
a
is the one that's more interesting, is if you have 4 dice, how many different rolls can you get with those 4 dice?
It's a math question.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a 4 logarithm. It's
Oh,
or
so
not
like,
a logarithm.
if 3 of them are a 6 and 1 of them is a 5, that's 1 roll.
It's 6 factorial, 4 factorial.
Well,
Four
it'd be-
factorial.
Oh, it's a
If you-
six-sided
well,
dice.
it's
You have
6-sided
four-
dice.
it'd
Wait,
be
no,
s-
wait, you
it'd be
said
6
4
squared.
six-sided dice. Oh,
Or
yeah.
6 cubed.
I almost said the
So
answer
4
in my head.
factorial.
So
six
how many
factorial.
different
6 to the power of 4.
combinations can you get?
So 6 times 6 times
No,
6
not
times
6 to
6.
the power of 4. It's a factorial.
No, because if you have 6, 6, 6, 3, that is 1. It doesn't matter which die is that 3. That's one of the combinations.
Ah.
This isn't really
So-
trivia, though. This is
so
a math question.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Add them together times.
I'm going to say
4, 3, 2, 1. Add them together.
So
I'm going
I
to
was
say
way off.
11,842.
Michael?
I agree with him.
I'd have to
I'm
write it down.
I
I think
am-
I'd be able to do it if I was
I
writing
would
it
need,
down.
I would need a calculator.
I am way fucking off.
126.
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh, okay. I was close. I had a 1.
Yes, you did
Well,
have a 1.
you have
The
to.
first
And
number was a 1.
He had a 6 in there, too, I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
the only thing is you had, like what I said, you had to just do the factorial and then add it, or then times it by the factorial, and the largest portion of that would either be a 6 or a 4. So it's going to be a low number.
Well, the problem with that is, to me, that's not trivia.
That's not trivia.
That's just math.
Trivia-
Yeah, that's just math.
that's
That's
not-
not.
It's
trivia.
doing math fast.
Well, no.
Well,
like,
no, that's not fair.
you would have to know, like, doing math fast is giving like complex problems and solving it. That is going into some deep stuff.
Well, in that case,
And-
is how much do the electrons in a dolphin weigh? Is that trivia?
No,
Yes. I would say that's trivia.
no,
because
no
That's
person
not
on
math.
Earth
You're not going to be
would
able to just
know.
start thinking that
No.
math thing that
So
out.
is trivia just facts that people remember?
yes.
to me,
Yes.
The things that you can
Yes.
figure out?
to me, a trivia is it's a 1-to-1 answer that doesn't, like, if you ask us somebody's age, you don't have to derive, and I mean, you could, but like asking a math question like that, because what if you did 5 dice or 6 dice or 7 dice?
It would just
Then
change the answer.
It's coming down to where you have this extrapolating. It's an infinite question, essentially,
Okay.
and you're picking a point on the line.
So how about a question like, are there more trees on the Earth or stars in the sky visible by human eyesight?
See, that I see would be
No, that's
more
trivia.
of a trivia, though
Yes.
there are more stars.
But I would
By a lot.
say
no, human visible, there are more trees.
Human visible. Well, no, but then it depends.
there's more trees than visible stars from Earth.
It depends on how you consider visible or where you're standing.
If you can see it as a galaxy, then that's not a star that you can see.
Yes.
But the Andromeda galaxy in the night sky is like that large.
Yeah, but you can't see any of the stars.
But where are you?
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter where you are.
Even if you're at the North Pole, you cannot see individual stars in the
Your eyeballs don't work
But-
that good.
But who knows? Like, it's.
People who've been to the North Pole.
But then
Yes.
But then that comes to, I don't like trivia like that where it's
Rich
coming down
assholes.
to it's opinionated because based on viewpoint. It's like saying, what's the greatest religion? Well, okay, that depends on a lot of things.
Well, I think most trivia has to deal with concrete things.
So, like, the most concrete question that I remember from Monday was this French this French sauce, which is a broth thickened with egg yolk or egg white, also shares the French word for complete.
Custard?
Oh,
But-
fini.
But to me,
Consomme.
Consomme. Fini?
You know, here's one that you know the answer to. Who was the original voice of Shaggy and Scooby-Doo?
Original voice?
Yeah.
That's
Top,
another. That's
no, top
that.
6 or top 50 or top 60.
Yeah, he's on the right track.
Yeah.
Weird Al.
No, it's
Weird Al.
John's on the right track.
He's
I
on
can
the
tell.
top 40. He did the American Bandstand. What was his name?
See, that's a good trivia question.
Well, yeah, but see, to me, that's a trivia question because
He's on the right track. I
It
know
is. It is one question with one answer.
Yeah.
The thing
But
on
like
the tip of your tongue.
when you come down to
Yes,
how many
yes.
electrons are in a dolphin,
You just have to fucking take a wild
That-
ass guess.
you can have an average, but then you're coming down to did you read that specific paper that somebody gave an average?
Is it a dolphin
Because-
or is it a small
because you
dolphin
could-
or a large dolphin?
Because there's a small dolphin or large dolphin, which means you have a range. That to me isn't trivia because there is
Yes.
no direct answer.
Okay.
It's to me, it's you need a single question with a single answer.
Mm.
Otherwise, you can be like, nope, you're wrong because it's this, and you're like, but mine is true too, right? And like, no,
Mm-hmm.
well, kind of yes, but that's not the one we put down.
But numbers don't have to equal evil in trivia questions.
Yes,
Don't have to
You-
really.
you-
You're right.
you could-
Numbers are evil.
A question in trivia could literally be how many times does the word "we" show up in "We Are the Champions,"
He said,
the song from Queen? Like,
see, now
you
that-
could say that. That's a good trivia question.
That to me, it's still trivia because again, it is a 1-to-1 answer, but it is getting into the like weirdly obscure trivia.
But
where-
you could also sing in your head really quick and be like,
yeah,
it's like
you
48.
you could do that of like you just Google it really quick, like you know, like
but that would be cheating.
That's true.
yeah, but it's and that's okay. But when you're coming down to where the answers in super large numbers and whatnot, or like we were playing Super Fight, not Super Fight,
Jackbox.
Jackbox, the murder party, and I had the dad hat on. And so when it came to the math problems, everybody else is getting like 9 plus 14. And my questions were 94,462 plus 4,572. And I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to figure this out?
14,600.
I got all of the questions were 6-digit and 6-digit, and I got 5 in a row right
Really?
nice.
because I ignored all digits but the first digit.
Yeah.
Oh,
if
there
it
you go.
says 2 and 2, it's an even answer. And so 3 are odd, bam. And so I actually started doing better than some other people. I was super proud of myself, but it's
But
stuff
you
like
had the dad hat.
You did have a dad hat.
but it's stuff like that where if you have a question that is meant to just be frustrating, then to me, maybe that's the type of trivia for people. To me, it's not trivia. To me, it's knowing things, not figuring out things while sitting there.
John, the name on the tip of your tongue was Casey Kasem.
Yes.
Casey Kasem was the original voice of Shaggy and Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I would
Actually,
never have known that because I
See,
really couldn't give a shit.
actually, to me, the best trivia's are the one if you know the answer, it's cool. If you don't know the answer, it also is cool because you'll learn something really interesting.
Yeah.
Because the trivia's that are like, oh damn, I didn't know the second Queen of England.
Well, it's like one of those questions where
darn.
when you think of something, you're like, oh, I should know this. When a trivia question goes to the oh god, I should know this place, that's when it's a good trivia
So,
question.
what American president had the longest first name?
Bob.
Williamson?
Rutherford B. Hayes.
Rutherford B. Wait, B. Hayes?
Yes, Hayes was his last
B.
name.
Hayes.
You should know.
That's Rutherford.
But
B.
Rutherford is
Fairly long name.
no
Long
longer a
name.
first name.
No, that's
long.
true.
Well, no,
I
Rutherford
feel
is
like somebody
really
needs
long.
to
It
name
should
their
no
kid
longer
Rutherford.
be.
If I ever have a kid, I'm going to name him Rutherford.
Washington Rutherford.
Rutherford's
Really?
a cool name.
It's a first
Needs to
name.
come back.
His first name was Rutherford.
Oh, no. I'm sure.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we've
Let's
yes.
let's let other people ask questions.
we've deviated a very far.
very,
weird
very
topic.
far.
So I want to get into some topics that we asked on Discord. So these are questions from patron supporters or anybody on Twitch that's a subscriber or anybody that is a booster on Discord. So thank you very much for
Thank
anybody that
you,
supports. And so the first question that we have here comes from Bus Filming Phone. He was in here just a little bit ago, but he
Yeah, on
disappeared
the
to go
bus.
drive bus.
You literally
Bye.
was-
So the first question is, how would you handle a situation if two friends of yours were arguing about something? It could be about anything from something non-serious to serious.
I'd pick a side.
Yeah, depending on which, I'd probably just fucking shut up and drink.
Well, no, to me, it's
If one of them's right, I'm picking that side.
Oh no, that's
Yeah,
different.
but
if
that's
the person is right, then you have to pick their
Yeah,
side.
and there's definitely going to be a different way of approaching it between not serious and serious.
well, there's
Yeah.
okay. If it's not serious, I will usually lean really hard into whatever the stupidest one is.
Yes, that's
because
fair.
it's funny.
Yes.
But if it's serious, for one, really just kind of let them get it out of their system, because really you jumping into it just makes you part of the arguments, where it should be if one of them is starting to, because there's definitely times where you can have arguments where you're going back and forth in a constructive way, but then when somebody starts getting really asshole about it, then jump in and be like, whoa, back
So,
down.
Kyle, an example. If Michael and Argo are arguing about how much cheddar cheese to put on spaghetti,
a lot. A lot.
are you going to take a side?
He better not.
Yeah.
See, I feel like
And-
it's one of the, but it's one of those where I wouldn't necessarily take a side, but I'd add a third.
But
And
no,
to contrast that, if Michael and Argo are arguing about rent, you don't take a side.
no,
you
don't
are
take a
not
side.
involved.
Exactly. Yep.
No.
I'm not here at that point.
it's only jump in if you feel like you can help out, but if
Or make
it's-
things worse.
If
It
it's
depends.
if it's a serious argument, you do not want to take a side,
No.
and it's more about helping both of them maintain composure, because usually when things start going downhill, they just start becoming
De-escalate.
it just started becoming, you throw things out that those people don't mean, but are going to hurt in the future.
When when passions run high, people say and do stupid things, and sometimes you just gotta come back after the fact and amend fences and such.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah, that was my way. Anybody else have anything to add to that?
Nope.
Okay. So the next question we have here was Soul Kitty asks, so this is in regards to he says Cinderfest,
I like
Ooh,
Cinderfest.
Cinderfest.
which
Oh, it's a
also
Kieran
Burning
Con.
things.
I just want to
I
Kieran
like
Con.
burning things.
but it's in regard to Ciderfest, which we were just at this weekend. We were at a convention this last weekend. Ton of fun. Had a lot of fun. Also, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm shirt because I did a lot of push-ups.
Delicious chocolate.
He did 3 whole push-ups.
No, I did push-ups for a minute straight.
Yes,
Like-
in
3
front of
whole
an
push-ups.
audience. No, those were incline push-ups, so they weren't as...
They were, but then I tried doing a one-handed push-up and I almost slammed my face.
Wait,
I've done a lot of push-ups in 2 minutes.
yes,
Yeah.
but incline push-ups versus...
Inclined or easier. Yes.
Oh, incline or weight.
yeah.
Yes, that's why I was able
Did
to
you
do
guys
that
go
for a
to a
minute.
school that made girls do different push-ups from guys?
No, Michael, let's not get into
Army?
Kentucky.
I'm kidding.
No.
Anyway,
They don't
I
do that
gotta do the question. So anyway, the question was, what was one thing you enjoyed at Ciderfest, and what was something you hated at Ciderfest and you wish would be better?
So,
throwing
the
shade
one
or
thing that I
something.
loved was the Mozart chocolate liquor. That was amazing.
Oh,
Good
that
pu-
was-
good
What, the
cooking.
Mozart you brought to the hotel room
okay.
was fantastic.
That was a good purchase.
I will
It was one
say,
thing that I
yeah.
hated and wish was better. Malort.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, I
So
think Kyle
both
agrees.
of the things that you said are my thing.
So
Well,
so Malort, everybody agrees is bad, but yes,
It
John
literally poisoned me.
John brought a very dark chocolate liqueur there that
It was like a Hershey's bar. It wasn't
it,
dark
it
chocolate.
tasted like
It
dark
was-
chocolate, and then I
melted
took a
chocolate.
little bit of the black currant mead that we had,
Yes.
put a little bit in there, and it was like a chocolate covered cherry.
Yeah, cherry cordial.
It was really good. Though I find it weird that their favorite part about the convention was sitting in a hotel room drinking booze.
Yeah. No,
Well,
that's him.
and if you were
These
there
are the
and didn't get
alcoholics.
any, I'm sorry. It was in the fridge.
It was in the fridge.
Now, I'm the normal one, so I went to the convention and enjoyed ponies, and the thing I didn't enjoy was not enough ponies. Don't look at me, miss. We went to a freaking pony convention, and you're looking at me like, what are you talking
I
about
walked the
ponies
city.
for?
I walked the city.
So did I.
We saw brass ducks.
I went all over the city. You didn't.
I did too, because I got lost.
Did you go to the? Did you go to the
drunk
cigar
walked
store?
out.
There was the morning that I disappeared, like, to go find breakfast on my own.
Yeah.
And I just wandered around the city because I couldn't find any
You
place to
had
eat.
your phone.
No, yeah, but everything was like a mile and a half away.
Did you see the comedy show at the cigar store?
I did not.
You missed out.
Wait, what?
You were at the cigar store, Kyle.
Yes, the comedy show.
Yes, at the store.
He gave us his pitch and then we left.
We didn't see it, but he told us there was good.
Oh,
it was
he
gonna be
did say
there.
there was a comedy. He did. That was on Tuesday though.
I mean, none of us saw it, but
I
I'm
wanted
saying that
to.
Michael missed out.
I would love
because
to,
we
but
all missed out.
That was a great cigar shop too. It was actually really nice. They had a really nice selection.
Yeah.
For a downtown liquor store kind of shoved into a corner.
That's some stuff.
Actually, they were not. So the weirdest thing was that when I walked in there, they had stuff from Indeed, which I don't know. We didn't bring any down here, but we bring stuff from Indeed, and that was a local Minnesota place. I'm like, what the hell? We're in the middle of Wisconsin, and it's a craft local brew. And I'm like, oh, they got one in Milwaukee here too. So it was really weird that my favorite booze place actually I could buy there. Blew my mind.
That's a sign that it's good.
My favorite things was the friends and being able to walk around.
Well, actually, that was going to mention Null and Void in chat there just said my favorite thing was the friends.
Yes.
Yes, friends are great.
Real treasure was
But the
friends
ponies.
we made.
I do wish there was
This
more.
is the last thing you had before your death, Michael.
Yeah,
This is all you
good.
got.
Bury me with my horses. Anyways, I do kind of wish there was more vendors, but I talked to the con chair, and he's like, "Yeah, we had twice as many vendors apply than what we could afford to fit." And I thought to myself, "Man, I really wish there was more vendors." But at the same time, the more vendors you bring in, the less each vendor is probably going to make.
Yeah, they have to make sure it's beneficial for everyone, and they don't want to have people wandering through the halls and saying like, "Nope, nope, 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 nope." They want to put the ones they're going to get the most value out of. It's actually Charlie had said stuff about community guests where it's. You find like 2/3 of the people that everybody knows, but then you try to mix in a bunch of new ones that nobody's ever heard of. But you can't do one or the other. You can't do all old school and you can't do all new. It's about finding a balance. For me, actually, I saw other than Friends. So the one thing I actually enjoyed the most was Super Fight. Like that was probably we had a Super Fight panel where we played a card game live, and well, for one,
No one won?
nobody won. I was drinking.
No one wins
for
here either.
I had drank for like 6 hours beforehand, but I was on like a good coast and I was exhausted afterwards where like I had to take a break afterwards because I was just forcing myself to stand up. But it was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun. I really super fight. And surprisingly, the one thing that I didn't like the most about Ciderfest was actually bad fanfic, which other people are probably
He
going
was
to.
so angry.
I was very frustrated with bad fanfic.
Why?
Everything went really good, but a lot of the people that we had brought up and were around it had drank way too much, and I was trying to manage things, and I spent half the time hurting sheep.
left.
He had his angry face on. I could see his angry face.
The amount of I had to do with so much sheep herding of like getting people to step away that were like not supposed to be up there, and people deviating from the story in way too far of a fashion, and it was getting people to quiet down that were just like that was so frustrating for how much I spent like 30 hours prepping for that panel, and then it felt like it was a disaster to me. For the most people,
went well.
Everybody enjoyed it and it was fun. Yes. But from what I was trying to do, a lot of the stuff I prepped for, I wasn't able to do. I had to cancel midway through because I just couldn't do it. So it was super frustrating. Yeah. But then Super Fight came right after that, and that one was super fun. So it made up for the difference.
I lost in my first round, and then I went to bed.
Yes, it was fun. So those were mine too anyway. But anyways, just so we can get to the next one. So Null and Void asked the question, what job are you least qualified for, but you think you can fake it until your first paycheck? My current.
That's different because he's lying because he's actually good at his job.
Well,
I have no idea.
Actually, I feel like you could say that about a lot of things. I feel like most of the people that are out there with like amazing, great jobs that are young are probably because that's exactly what they did.
Because they're young, yes.
They took on a job they had no idea, and then they learned it after.
Because everybody wants experience, but the only experience is by doing. And so you just go in there with confidence and being like, "Yeah,
Jerry, age 45, doing the thing for the 20 years, he knows what's up."
The only thing that really matters for any job, and that's any job on the planet Earth, is whether or not you have the aptitude for it. not whether or not you know it before
Wait.
going in.
The only thing that matters is whether or not you're good at the job.
Well, you don't have to
Yes.
know anything about. No, you have to have the aptitude to be able to learn the job. You don't have to know anything about the job before going in. I could walk
Wait,
in.
so let's just say
yes,
No.
an
Yes.
epidemiologist. So,
Yeah.
or like Dr. House, someone whose entire job is trying to identify a disease in a human body. You're saying you don't have to know anything about medicine as long as you're good at it.
I would say yes, but you would
No,
have you
no,
would, you,
Michael's world is a death
no.
world.
Let me finish. Let me finish. You would need to enter into the position in the same place he entered into the position right out of medical school.
There are certain because
Yes, you need medical school before you can be the doctor.
I don't want that doctor.
It is
saying.
okay, little
I don't want
Timmy.
it.
Little Timmy, is it
Like-
cancer?
When it comes to medicine, a lot of doctors serve as interns before they become doctors, and that's where they learn the job. If somebody enters,
That's called residency.
Yeah.
And It's
Yeah.
required for all
And
of them.
yes.
literally all medical school.
but if you entered in residency as your starting position at the job,
That is their
You would-
starting
that is their
position.
starting
Yeah.
position.
That was-
Because they've
yes.
spent 8 years studying how to be a resident.
I think you could start there if you have the aptitude.
No, that-
Michael's
oh,
Michael's
you-
world is where people die.
Oh, no, okay.
They
Oh,
die a
Well,
lot.
a resident isn't going to be the one making the big decisions. They're going to be the one standing by the guy who does know the job,
you're
and
gonna
he's going to
be-
be learning
that's-
from him.
You're going to be taking care of the low hanging fruit,
Yeah.
but if you have no idea what you're doing, you're still going to hurt people. And there are certain things of like
listen to the nurses.
of like it's okay. Do
What if
you,
they're doing stupid shit you're doing?
it's like it's like telling somebody that has no idea on gun safety to go and just run a shooting range.
Well, I'm not saying
I
they should
still
run the
think-
shooting range, but they could work with the guy as a starting position who is
No,
running. that
there's-
shooting
But
I
he's
still think
also
one
dumb.
of my favorite Scrubs episodes was the one where they went over, yeah, if you're working in medicine, you are going to be directly responsible for someone dying.
yeah.
And you're always going to remember that, and then you're going to get better. But being part of that, being in this job means you are going to kill somebody.
The idea is that there's a certain amount where I love the idea of trial and error is learning through mistakes is you throw yourself out there as many times as you can until you learn, because that is the fastest way to learn. But there are certain professions where doing so is bad.
Well,
Like it's like, well, you know what? Maybe it's lupus. Maybe it's lupus. Oh, that didn't work. Well, just put him in the casket.
They have crematoriums for a reason these days.
Yeah,
it's a lot
Frontline
of doctors do
infantry.
that anyways.
There's not a lot of room for trial and error.
a lot of what
No,
residents
you need to learn the thing before you do it.
Yeah.
a lot of other ones you can jump in there, but a lot of what I think the college and the residencies are for is it is a filtered way to get people experience, so that because like with House
think
and
it's
a lot
a-
of those, it's all about time. Human brain is about patterns. And well, there's the thing of like, I have a gut feeling. The gut feeling a lot of times comes because your brain is been built into a pattern.
Yeah.
And so it's connecting dots you can't see. And so somebody that's been doing it for 30 years, you're going to trust way more.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're just going to go, I have a feeling it's this. And they're probably maybe not right, but they're going to have a better chance.
They might be
gut
close
is
to
because
right.
Their gut is
they've
smarter.
done, yes, experience matters
smart
a great deal
gut.
more than anything else.
Experience matters when you have a background knowledge in it. If you are starting fresh, you have zero background knowledge.
Everyone
in
starts from
anything.
somewhere.
Yeah, but it's
But if you go to school first, you don't kill people.
School, to me, only determines aptitude beforehand.
well, that's what residency is for.
yes,
Residency is essentially a forced internship.
Yeah. No.
Which it's allowing you to shadow people so that you can build up experience before you're the one making the decisions.
so-
where a lot of the jobs where you're thrown in being the decision maker are because if you are wrong, oh well, you can fix it before it's a problem.
Yeah.
You can't exactly fix dead.
You
Yeah.
never want to hear from your doctor, oh,
Oh, you said there was a cough.
that's a bad noise from your doctor.
So when he starts sitting in the corner and he's just mumbling, he's like, oh God, it could be cancer.
Now, if you hear that noise
That's
from
probably
the
your
resident
doctor even 20
behind
years late.
the guy, behind your doctor, that's fine. If they have that oh moment, great, you're learning. That's not what you want the guy in
Nope.
charge to do.
Nope.
That's what you want the resident to do.
Yeah,
Not the guy
exactly.
in charge.
There are a number of
But
people.
yeah, I'm saying starting as a resident.
No, like how many professions do you never want to hear?
What was the next
Oh,
question?
I don't think you
Yeah.
ever want to hear that from a president.
So I have 8%, 7. Oh, I
You
could
will.
literally just drop to 7%. So let's run into these questions before
Yeah.
my phone goes poopy.
Sorry.
What?
I put it on power saving
Okay.
because that does something. So the next question we have though is from Silver Code. Asks if you could reboot a TV show other than Pony.
No.
What show would it be? It could be for an extra season or a completely new show with new actors.
We have to make Firefly, but we have to spend
I never
billions of dollars de-aging all the old fucks who are currently dead.
Oh, I've never seen
Wait.
Firefly, but I want to.
You want the original actors?
I want the original actors from the grave.
Well, they're probably the ones that made it.
Pull them out. Pull them out of their casket, wherever they're at.
We get it brief.
I don't know if they're that
Put a
old.
camera and then de-age them.
Yes.
CGI can do wonders.
Yeah. I don't know what I would want. What show I'd want to have pulled from the extra for an extra season. Oh,
The X-Files.
it's fairly recent, but I have one. Expanse.
You just wanted to finish
You just
Expanse,
want them
yeah.
to finish it.
Because they only did books 1 through 6,
Why
and
you
there's
get-
9 books.
Why do
Yeah,
you get to have Expanse, but I don't get to have Paul?
And me and John know the whole story, and you fuckers don't know what it all
I
is.
do need to go read the entire series. I'm
It's
reading The
so
Witcher
good.
right now. Excuse you.
Okay, well at least that's a full story.
If I can borrow your paperbacks, I'll read it.
you can have one
Did it say Expanse?
because I
I
got
read
extra.
all of them.
Amazon sent me an extra, so I have I have number 4.
Can I get
Farscape, man, I haven't thought about that in years. Holy shit!
Can I get another season of Australia?
No, you don't. No, no. It said no pony.
This is different.
No pony.
No pony.
It's different.
But no, I would like because it's very recent for the Expanse. But that's actually what could help. But and I'd mentioned this before. Expanse ended when it did because if they were to actually make another season, the books have a 30-year time jump. That's really hard to do with current actors. So what we need to do, like you're saying
my
with new
God.
actors, if we just had the same actors, but we just made them old. Like
No,
there's
if
gotta
they
be a way.
waited 15 years, and then Amazon, when of course they have all of
But
our
then we'll
souls
be in
locked in
space.
jars. Amazon in space has all of our souls locked in jars. Whenever they get around to it, they can reboot the Expanse, but with the same actors that they've digitally recreated out of other people's flesh into the actors for the show, but they'll CGI them just up a couple of
Yeah, because that guy who played Amos, his heart's gonna give out. He just had this feeling.
No, he's actually a really kind, cool man
No, dude, that doesn't mean his heart isn't gonna give out.
because he's too lovable.
He's too lovable for
Yeah.
his heart
He's too
to
beef.
explode.
He's too beef for this world.
That's why his heart's gonna explode.
If you haven't,
Just because he's muscular does not mean he's heart's gonna
Like-
explode.
if you haven't seen The Expanse,
He doesn't do
Amazon.
steroids. He's just beef.
Do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have 2 more questions.
Oh, I'd say wacky racers. Move on.
Oh,
I never really got to say mine.
what is
'cause
Wacky Racer?
Fuck you.
I want Muttley to exist beyond a live-action Brazilian show or movie back 10 years ago. I want Muttley to come.
You're the only one who
Muttley
watched
and
that.
Dick Dastardly need to come back into the popular consciousness.
No.
I kind of agree.
No. No.
John.
You don't like?
Okay.
I like
what do you have against
Hanna-Barbera.
Dick
Oh,
Dastardly.
no. Michael,
I like Hannah
We're over
Barbera.
it. It's
What?
over. You're
Mike-
old. It's over.
Michael, what 1970s
It's like the
show?
Flintstones.
What?
No,
We had that with John Goodman.
no, Michael's got to have his 1970s show that, like, is it Gilligan's Island?
Oh, I wouldn't.
They went out and got lost again.
Hogan's
Like-
Heroes.
I was thinking
McHale's
like
Navy?
I was thinking like My Favorite Martian.
Oh.
We-
That's
No, we had that with
Christopher Lloyd, but that's what
Yeah,
I want.
Lloyd.
I want more Christopher Lloyd in the remake.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I liked him too.
you want to reboot
Oh,
Christopher Lloyd.
A 4th
Yes.
Back to the Future.
No,
Okay.
Where
we
they
need to
go
slow
back to
down
the-
there.
where was he
That's
going?
all
Original
right.
actors.
No. De-aged
be
original
rough.
actors?
Yeah. No. As they are now.
Oh,
Fly.
no.
That would.
that would take a while.
It would be an interesting movie.
Oh, my God. I can see.
Incredibly old man.
Whatever
and-
Marvel's doing these
Though,
days, Disney,
after-
they'll
after
take- they'll
Thinking
do
about
it.
that hurts.
Remember?
Really
A
does,
little bit.
don't it?
It upsets
That would
me.
make people die just of old ageism.
Remember
like,
the
when
movie-
They see it, they come out. They're like,
No, remember the movie we watched recently with Christopher
Yeah,
Lloyd?
nobody.
Christopher Lloyd.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Yes.
He
That was a
amazing in
fan-
Yeah,
that.
Christopher
Fantastic
Lloyd,
movie.
great.
He was the best person.
he,
I mean,
was
he
the
was
best
the
thing
best
in
character of the entire movie.
Okay, not to put down anybody else. They all did great.
But Christopher
But
Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, old man getting up from his chair with a shotgun, was amazing.
I specifically think, well, okay, so the reason why Christopher Lloyd in that movie was even as good as it was because of the cinematography. 100%.
Yeah.
Well,
Just watching him hobbling around and just like taking an entire warehouse.
The cuts
Yes.
where he's just like, ha! he blows people
He
away.
just got his old man hunch. He's like,
Yeah.
just wandering around the warehouse taking out
The
crime lords.
cinematography made Christopher
So
Lloyd
great.
It was like a parody of what else was going on for the rest of the movie. For like 3 seconds of scene was Christopher Lloyd hamming the fuck up with the fucking lever action shot off.
The whole rest of the movie is
Oh my
this is what a military trained special forces guy can do. This is how much punishment he can take. And then Christopher Lloyd, this is what an old man with no muscles left can do with a shotgun.
Yeah.
he knew what he was doing. They showed
Yeah.
that he knew
did,
he
yeah.
had
But
experience.
he was trained back in
trained.
like
that was my favorite
1960.
movie of all. That was
okay.
Well, your favorite part of that movie is like Christopher Lloyd's still alive.
Anyway,
That's
next
Yeah, we got to move on. My phone actually got to 5%. and it dimmed to the screen. I had to manually put it back up to readable range. So, charging Hot Rod 7. Actually, this is, I think, his first time asking a question. Been a long time supporter otherwise. So, ask the question. Though he sure has been asked before. If you were able to have one and only one superpower, what would it be?
We've already asked this, and I'm again going to say portals because it can be abused so much. I get to set the reference frame.
I don't know what I said before, but I think flying this time.
So I
Flying's
probably
cool.
Flying to me would be the coolest. If I actually had to pick one, I would say to be able to choose when to read minds, because any other normal superpower, if you could say fly, is everybody can see you're doing it and you're just going to be thrown onto a table to be dissected.
Yes.
But if you could read minds and you are sneaky about it, it means you could have the power and nobody knows you have it, but you take advantage of it. So I think if they're going to be, because if the implication is that nobody else has superpowers, if like the world is full of superpowers or something, that'd be different. But
I want the superpower to wake up in the morning and not be even more tired than I was before I went to bed.
That's because you didn't.
That's
sleep
called
the night.
8 hours.
Yeah.
no, I can agree with him. I'm getting old.
Yeah,
That is
that's a superpower.
it starts to feel like a
The
superpower.
reason for that is because you're actually sleeping on a bed that doesn't fit you.
I have a
that's
queen size
ridiculous.
bed.
Your bed
I have a
is too-
king size
Your
bed.
bed is
No,
too
no,
I
big.
have 2 beds.
No. The mattress firmness is not what you need.
No, I
not
don't.
what you
I don't
need.
wake
That's
up.
garbage, you healthy young person.
I don't.
Wait till you're old and decrepit. Be like, why can't I find the perfect bed? It's because it doesn't exist anymore.
Someday, Kyle, someday.
The only time I feel comfortable in the morning is after I poop my pants.
Yeah. No, I want you to walk up with a straight face to a 70-year-old man. He's like, you know why you're so tired in the morning? It's because your bed's not right. He's going to use what little old man strength he has left to slap you upside the face.
He's gonna hit you with his cane.
Yeah, he's going to hit you so hard with that freaking cane.
No, I don't wake up. I don't wake up.
You don't wake up.
Just keep
Why are you complaining?
whomping.
Yeah, it's not about being sore in the morning to me. It's about it's just if it never feels like the sleep that I have is. It feels like the margin you have
Not
for
hitting
what
REM.
would wake you up is getting tighter and tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
So like I can go to bed and I can like drink a bunch of water and get hydrated, but now it feels like, oh nope, now you're a little bit thirsty and like up your bladder's a little bit past the 9, and it feels like I'm just that margin is getting smaller and smaller, and so it's just you can do what you can. I have a Tempur-Pedic mattress
lie
pad
in
at the
bed.
top. I have a memory foam pillow. I am very comfortable when I go to sleep. But I would never feel, well, I mean, it doesn't help that I only go to bed at like 2 in the morning.
It helps
me,
if you can afford to continue lying in bed for at least another 30 minutes after you wake
It's
up.
always 30 minutes.
Yeah.
For
Plus,
me,
give or take 2 hours.
I just remember
Yeah.
the quote, I would do anything to wake up well rested in the morning except spend 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Just
anything
but that.
Anything but that.
Anyways, one last question because my phone is now at 4%. So Flutterkind asks, what is something that most others disliked about you, but you generally liked?
That you like about yourself.
No, it's something that most others disliked, but you generally liked. So what is something that like you just generally think is a good thing, but other people think is a bad thing? I think.
Wait, are we self-roasting right
yeah.
now? Is
No,
that what's happening?
not necessarily
Anything-
about you. Just something that you like, but most other people don't.
It's probably the hat. Speaking about Kyle's hat.
The hat?
You like your
It
hat.
does have a hole in the
Okay,
backside.
yeah, the whole little Velcro patch.
It's your fault, actually. You
No,
made it
yeah,
get fire. It burned
It
a hole in
just
Okay.
speaks of kind of a fair weather fan of America. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly believe that you've got a Canada patch at home.
Yeah.
Well, it can't.
I don't get it.
Though.
Why is it
like-
Velcro?
Yeah,
It's so that he can, like,
Yeah, so like
in case he
it's
ever wants to
Oakley.
defend.
It's an Oakley hat.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It's all been revealed.
No,
well,
yeah.
I love when you're like, wow, America's not doing too well. You know
Nope.
what? Let me. Do you have the patch?
Time to turn over to the Oakley military. There you go.
Oakley's Oakley.
No,
Oakley's
now
going
I'm
on?
just
Oakley
imagining
knows
how many
what's
other
going on.
patches he has.
I mean, there has to be more than just the one, right?
No, he's got America. He's got
I
Canada.
literally have a patch that has a butt on it.
Yeah,
Really?
a bunch.
Yeah.
Why don't you wear that more?
That could
Well,
be a
because
butt
it's not
hat.
in public.
But why? Actually, you know what bothers me the most is that if you take it off, it has the Oakley symbol.
It
which
does.
now, if you wear nothing, the way to advertise Oakley is with a big free spot
Yeah,
on your head.
it looks dumb.
It looks really dumb. Actually, please can you put that back? Like, it feels. I've never really, okay,
Perfect.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about that. But yeah, wait. You know what? Hold on. We can fix this. Let's do this. Here we go.
Perfect.
That's bad.
America, fuck yeah.
He's in
No,
distress.
that's bad.
He's in
Oh
distress.
no, is this the? Wait a minute.
He's distressed right now.
I put it
Oh,
upside
that's
down.
that's actually in distress. That is true.
No, the other thing about that actually does bug me. The whole fact that you have a flag that you can strap to your head feels like they're just trying to market with the minimal amount. Like, do you want to buy a supporter pack?
Yeah.
Like, here's a pride flag strap on.
Are you in the military? You
my.
better show your fucking pride, or else you're gonna. I don't know.
But you don't have to show
know
it
what?
all the time.
I forgot what
I
the
like it, though.
freaking question was.
What's something that you
Dislike.
like that most? No, what's something that you like that most other people dislike?
No, what is? Yeah, okay, yes. Oh, that is difficult.
I mean, I hate myself. So
I like
that's a
art.
really
I
hard
like.
question.
No, that's the opposite. What do you dislike that everyone else likes?
What? Well, no. What? It's
Michael, you are good enough, strong enough, and people like you,
I was.
but you don't like yourself. So that's the opposite of this.
Yeah, that is
There
the
you go.
opposite.
that I'm the opposite of the question.
So you're doing it wrong. Do it right.
I broke the question.
I like artichokes.
So does
The
everyone.
entire artichoke, even the leaves when you're eating them.
I like artichoke dip, but the actual plant.
No, the entire artichoke.
Well, that's
when you steam and boil the entire artichoke, and then you put it in way too much mayonnaise, and then you eat it leaves to
Wait, you're just covering an artichoke in mayonnaise and eating the whole thing?
It's delicious.
He is some sort of dinosaur?
Yeah. Artichokes do look like dragon fruit.
True.
Yeah, they do, but they're not.
They're not.
And you wouldn't put mayonnaise on a dragon.
Butter
fruit.
is good, but the butter has to have garlic in it. Can't be just butter.
The answer I was actually going to give was an answer that probably was more relevant like 8 years ago. SFM. Because
Wow,
it
topical.
seemed like back then the model quality was so bad that, like, sure, I was, YouTube went well and there's people following, but the amount of comments that I got of people just saying SFM is shit and like everything is like, well, I like what I'm doing. And then it's like, what you're doing is crap. Everything sucks. Please stop doing this. Kill yourself. And it's like, but I want to. And like, it was actually a rough start because nobody wanted SFM early on. Now people know what they're doing and the quality of the models have went up and the quality of the animations went up. And now nobody really questions it anymore. If anything, the questions used to be like, this is SFM. shoot yourself. Now this is SFM. Wow.
Shoot yourself.
Yeah.
No.
Now it's like
Wow.
This is
that was
a-
great. Shoot
I know
yourself.
we were friends.
now the questions are: this is SFM.
FSM.
SFM. Why aren't you using Blender?
Actually, I do get that.
Actually, yeah.
I know you
I
get that
do
a
get
lot.
that, and actually, it is one of the things that I bring up a lot
Because
at
they're
conventions.
very similar,
Yeah.
actually.
no,
you just
well-
have to learn.
No.
they are.
The output quality is very different. The difference is render time and complexity. And I bring this up at conventions all the time of like, why don't you switch to Blender? I'm like, that would be wonderful. But if I put all the details that I really would be able to put into there, I'd be looking at frames that take half hour, an hour to render, and compared to what, like 10 seconds now. And I'd be looking at a library where I would have to build or convert everything over, meaning that I don't like making animations. I like making videos, and it would significantly deteriorate my ability to make videos.
It would take a while to convert all the models.
Yeah, it would be like I would be spending hours and hours and hours just to make it work so that I could have a higher quality product at the end. But if you look at the internet, like look at TikTok or anything like that, it's not about making high quality content. It's about making watchable content. People don't care if it's high quality. Some do.
There's quality, there's consistency, and then there's frequency. You pick two.
And it's all about a balance between those.
Yeah.
And I like doing quality, but I try to optimize the quality within the medium I'm working. But if I were to do Blender, it'd be like, great. But then I would be having like 1/4 or 1/5 as much content. And then it would be like, oh, hey, look, my channel died because nobody's watching it anymore. Oh, I made a new video. Great. That's cool. We're going to ignore you now because you're not putting out anything for now. YouTube doesn't work that way anymore. So to me,
The algorithm.
the algorithm is about algorithm doesn't give a shit about quality. It gives a shit about frequency.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with the one that has the higher frequency.
So SFM, Michael.
Did I didn't already answer. I like learning new things, but not necessarily sticking with them after I've learned them. And
Other people dislike that.
in the sense that I don't
People hate.
People hate learning.
in the sense that I never really produce anything of like actual quality from the things I learn.
But why do other people hate that?
They don't.
But
Well,
that's the
kind of.
question. Are you changing the question?
I'm trying to come up with something.
So my answer.
I'm not changing the question.
What's
So,
John?
My answer is Tumblr.
That's fair. Holy
I
shit.
still like Tumblr.
Yeah, no.
Why?
Well, Kyle.
It's
Kyle, you want to go to Twitter?
No, Tumblr is a really easy medium to just go to for people who just post art every week.
I went to
Actually,
I-
that's
took 4
intriguing.
years of my life to.
I
make
feel
fun of that
like,
fucking site.
I feel like Tumblr was on a downhill about stuff,
It's
but now
still on a downhill.
But-
it's a trash fire that no one's going to buy, which means it's never going to change, so it's
No.
perfect.
no, but now the only other one that other people jump to is Twitter.
Yeah.
No, Reddit.
Oh well, Reddit's a little
No.
different.
Reddit's worse.
Reddit's about post.
I don't wanna go to-
Reddit is
That's an actual
Its own
dumpster
thing.
fire.
Yeah, that's a little,
Reddit is its own
Reddit is about-
specific fire. It's like the chemicals you throw into the fire to make it change different colors.
if Tumblr is a dump, Reddit is just a beach that's littered with trash. There's still the same amount of trash. It's just spread out over a much larger area.
I would say it's more trash, and there's a lot of like dirty syringes and a homeless man that's just kind of giggling to himself, and you
but
don't
he's a
know
very
why.
nice man.
He's a relatively
Well, he's
nice.
nice when he's not
I feel like there's going to be
Handsy.
a temporary
definitely-
resurgence on Tumblr during, because at least when this all is recorded, because with how fast this crap is changing, this is like the week after Musk took over.
Oh, the Musk Twitter thing.
So,
we
like,
have to wait for that bitch to fall out of the sky.
being that it literally is that every single day is a different development at Twitter. I see Twitter taking a dive. I don't think it's going to go that too far down. I see it's going to have stabilized because people are stubborn. They like Twitter. They're going to stick with it
Nobody's
no matter
going back
what.
to Facebook.
But
They're all done with that.
But the advertisers are going to pull out, which means their revenue is going to die, which means that the platform is going to deteriorate temporarily.
If he ever makes people pay for it, that platform will die overnight.
Well, no, he tried to.
That's
but
not
that's where it's
necessarily true.
Nobody's going to pay for it when they have other options.
I think legitimately he is smarter for saying dumb things on like everybody fucking else was on Twitter. He says dumb things on Twitter, gets feedback about it immediately, and then makes a decision that's completely different later.
But like it's like we were talking about like learning from your mistakes. I feel like he is literally just using
Fail faster.
He's using Twitter for its intended purposes. To say
He is
stupid
failing
things.
so fast.
No, the problem is
it's falling apart rapidly.
but it depends on the sources you go to. So if you can get metrics where you can determine one or another really quickly, sure. But how do you determine what percentage are like what you said and what percentage don't? Because I'm pretty sure he has, as with anybody, you're going to have a confirmation bias. And some people are going to say that, hey, good, keep doing what you're doing. And he's going to pay way more attention to this. I don't like his attitude about things where, you are.
I don't like his attitude about things either.
I'm not a big fan.
He's the employer of potentially thousands and thousands of people. And then he's like, lol, look at this funny shirt I made
Where's
about this
my
crap."
truck?
Yeah, it's
That's also true. Yes, you are waiting on something completely different, unrelated as well.
no. So there are people whose entire livelihood, thousands of people whose livelihood are dependent on a single tweet that he could put out, and he still puts it out. So he's not really looking at things from a leadership position because he is kind of screwing over the people that are under him. Whether or not he succeeds in the platform, he's treating his employees like dirt. And that, from the employee perspective, is kind of a bad thing.
So the message here is go back to Tumblr. It misses you.
Actually,
They've brought porn back.
the
I
only
made a
reason
Tumblr.
I go to Twitter is just to look at artists' stuff.
Tumblr. That's what Tumblr
But if
is.
Tumblr's better for that, I probably won't care that much.
You
about
need
Twitter.
more ask blogs.
Yeah, I use Twitter.
Adorkable Twilight.
I do like Adorable Twilight.
That's Tumblr.
I am from the other side of this, where I use Twitter. To me, it's not a great distribution method, but it is a method to pull in people that have not seen you and other things.
Yeah.
So like if I put out some funny GIFs or I do some other things, you get people that follow you. And then when you put out something that says, hey, go look at my video, then they click it and they go to your YouTube, and you're maybe only going to get 1% of those.
For me, I found you on YouTube and then followed your streams on Steam.
Yeah.
So I
I
never even knew you through
all
Twitter.
it is about you put a couple seeds out in a couple different places and you try to poke at them, and I'm really bad about that, but you try to poke at them a little bit so that eventually somebody connects one to the thing that you care about. And to me, my main thing is YouTube.
I think
And
you
if
need
I
to be on Tumblr.
No, I have a Tumblr. I created a name there. I was a little behind on TikTok and somebody stole my name.
He needs to put out more 8-second videos if he wants to be on Tumblr. And that's,
No, no, I'm not touching Tumblr.
yeah,
I made it so that somebody
that's not
could
what your
impersonate.
content is.
No. I originally tried to branch out into some other things, but I realized that all those are just meant to point back. If you try to become big on multiple mediums, you're doing it wrong. Pick one and use all the others to try to direct people back to the one.
For you, like registering your name so no one takes it on Tumblr makes sense. Actually posting your stuff on Tumblr, that's not what's good for you.
So like I'm actually in the middle this week of I have a new animation coming up this week, and I completely custom rendered a lot of stuff so that I could release it on TikTok.
Okay.
Just specific to. I don't care about TikTok, but other people do. And so I want to put it there so that other people can get pointed back.
I think Kyle has something that
Kyle
he
is
likes
very
that no one
sad.
else likes that he wants to.
We've been talking for 2 hours, and I have a weak bladder.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wait,
yeah.
he likes
well,
peeing and no one else likes peeing.
You went before the stream. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
our pre-show was like 20 minutes. So,
So, what
I've
did
never seen him.
Yes,
So,
what did we
sad.
drink?
yeah, so that will be everything for the podcast 31. Thank you very much. So yeah, we can go into our drinks. So Kyle, stay in your damn seat.
Wrong Kyle.
Your ass
This is
down.
You won't
No, I
say
was laughing about that.
If he pisses on your carpet, it's only you're the one to blame.
Oh shit! And I'll send him
No,
a bill.
that's Kyle's chair.
Oh, you know what? This is only taking longer. So John, what did you bring?
So that thing that I made for everyone that they liked that used raw eggs, that was
Yeah.
a gin fizz.
Wait, that was raw
I
eggs.
love
Yeah.
gin fizz.
Egg
It's
whites, yeah.
That's all we have. That's why we'll have some salmonella poisoning now.
Well, you know, I haven't had it yet, so I'm doing okay. And no, actually,
Probably have.
the gin fizz. Yeah, it was pretty good. I don't know if it's quite like if you gave it to me, yes, I would drink it. I don't know if it would be the drink that I would go to on stuff.
Yeah.
But it was very good.
Every
very
word is like
I brought
torture for
him the mead and the Heineken I didn't drink.
John, what other beers did you bring?
Mixed nuts.
Oh yeah, we didn't bring it down here. Indeed,
Oh,
mixed nuts.
yeah.
That was very good.
And the other one that was okay, so I won't mention it.
I brought this one. It is from
Muffins.
Great Notion, I think. The blueberry muffin. It's kind of an expensive beer, but it literally tastes like a blueberry muffin.
did.
It is actually very. I'm not a sour fan. This is specifically says a tart ale. Very very good though. And then I also brought. Wow, you already drank this.
James.
All right.
Yeah,
James
Thursday.
Maple Pecan Nut Brown Ale.
I
I haven't tried that one yet.
It's gone. I drank it all.
It actually smells pretty good.
That
though.
one can.
was all right.
Or
It
nuts.
smells very malty. But yeah.
Kyle.
No, Kyle,
But the oh yes, we
Let's
already went over.
let's take a really long time on this one. I brought Ritual Night. It's a Mexican dark chocolate stout that was actually really, really good. I recommend that one. And then I also brought Into It from Modest Brewing. Both of them are from Modest Brewing. It's a lemon lime lager. We tried it. I thought it was pretty good. It's more of a summer drink. He thought it tasted like floor cleaner.
Yeah, I thought.
But-
I don't think it was.
Pine Sol.
I said it was like when you say that a juice tastes like Robitussin, where you're not meaning it as a bad thing.
Good parts of Robitussin.
Yeah, the good parts of
the good
Robitussin.
parts of pine salt.
This is the good parts of pine. Please don't drink pine.
Don't drink Faisal.
But it wasn't bad, but it probably wouldn't be something I'd drink more than one of. The stout you brought though was very good.
Yeah, I do like that stout.
It was very good.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, I think that is everything we had for today. So thank you for hanging out and for us for episode 31. So Michael, what is your last word?
Kyle, go pee.
Thank you for
Yeah.
God's in heaven.
See, I set him free.
An hour 58 without pre-roll.